Hello and welcome to Vegan 101 class, Getting Back to Healthy. This presentation is for those who are interested in knowing more about becoming a vegan or just to learn more about this lifestyle. During this presentation, I will discuss the following topics. The vegan diet, or as some like to say, the vegan lifestyle. Vegan versus vegetarian. Is there a difference? Why are people choosing this particular lifestyle? The state of our health here in the United States only. The top 3 misconceptions. Foods to avoid and why. Healthy food choices. Health advantages. And recommendations to include websites. Before we get started, I would like to give you a little information about me. I am Dr. Brenda Bradley, and I have had a remarkable career and life that has taken many twists and turns. From being a U.S. service member in the United States Air Force to being a certified integrative nutrition health coach. I will say that regardless of any position I have ever held, there has always been a common denominator, and that is my desire to serve others, to make this world a safer and even a healthier place. Several years ago, I struggled with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, depression, and I was pre-diabetic. And after learning about my body and what it needed to perform optimally, I made the switch to a plant-based lifestyle. During the first 40 days, I lost 33 pounds, and within 3 months, I was taking off all my medication. And after 10 months, I had lost a total of 64 pounds. I was so amazed, and I still am, and very excited. I felt, and I still feel good every single day. And so that led me to becoming a health coach today. I received my first certification from the Hallelujah Acres as a health minister. Then I went on to the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in New York City. As my niche, I host a 21-day vegan challenge. I am a member of the Physician Committee for Responsible Medicine. I have written several books. My most recent book was published last December 12th, and on December 13th, I received a call from the publisher who had stated that the book had become an international bestseller. Also last year, I did my very first TED Talk in Jacksonville, Florida. And this year, I have been invited back to Florida to speak to the university, to college students about this particular lifestyle. So let's get started. What is a vegan diet? A vegan diet, what that means is the abstinence of animal products. No meat, beef, pork, fish, poultry, no dairy, no milk, eggs, and cheese, and yogurt. And for some people that you might meet, they will say, those that claim to be vegan, will say that they do not consume any honey either because it comes from bees. So a vegan diet includes fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds. Is there a difference in a vegan and a vegetarian? I will tell you this. When I first started this particular lifestyle, I was clueless. I actually thought that vegan was short for vegetarian. I truly did. One day I would tell you I was a vegan. The next day I would tell you I was a vegetarian until someone called me out on the carpet and asked me, which one am I going to be? And I really thought that they were the same. But there is a difference. Remember, a vegan is someone who does not consume any meat or any animal byproducts, egg, milk, and cheese. Whereas a vegetarian may not eat meat, but may eat animal byproducts, eggs, milk, and cheese. You might speak to someone that would tell you, hey, Dr. Bradley, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. What that person is telling me is that even though he or she doesn't eat meat, they are eating something that is coming from the animal, whether it's eggs, milk, or cheese. So that is a difference between vegan versus vegetarian. There is a difference. Remember, vegan, absolutely no meat, including fish, and animal byproducts. Where a vegetarian, they might say they don't eat meat, but something in their diet includes something from the animal, whether it's eggs, milk, or cheese. Why vegan? Why are people choosing this particular lifestyle? For me, the reason was my health. And that is becoming the number one reason, if it's not already there, why people become vegan. As I mentioned to you all, I was struggling with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, depression, obesity. Then I was told I was pre-diabetic. And one of the things that my physician told me was that I needed to get the weight off to even improve my overall health. But that in itself was a struggle because I tried my best and I tried many programs to lose the weight to help me with my issue, but it wasn't working for me. So of course I decided to check out this particular lifestyle, and it's been absolutely amazing. It's been almost 7 years since I made the transition, and I haven't looked back, and I don't plan on looking back either. But some of the other reasons why people choose a lifestyle is because of ethical reasons. Some feel that they just cannot sit back and eat food that they feel that the animal had been slaughtered for. So they say that they just won't even deal with that. Another reason is environmental. It takes a lot of land, a lot of pesticides, a lot to produce meat and animal byproducts. So many people believe that because of that, we are destroying, Mother Earth. And so for environmental reasons, they choose this particular lifestyle. And then you go on to, for religious reasons, political reasons, cultural reasoning, and even economics. The state of our health. These statistics were taken a couple of years ago, so I'm sure that these statistics have changed. And these statistics are for the United States only. This is not worldwide statistics on the state of health. So as you look at this particular slide, you will see that even with cardiovascular disease, 80% of Americans, 80% will have to deal or will deal with cardiovascular disease. 33% of all Americans develop cancer, and this is projected to reach 50%. That is almost half, and it might be already there. I remember growing up, I'm actually from Arkansas, and I remember growing up playing with the neighborhood kids and all of that, whenever we heard that someone had cancer, we really didn't even think too much of it because I would listen to my mom and listen to older people. I would hear them say things like, "Oh, it must run in that person's family." So I would ask the question, "Hey, does it run in our family?" And if the answer was no, I didn't even think much of it, other than to pray for that person that had been diagnosed with cancer. But today, cancer is everywhere. You hear about it all the time. It does not discriminate. And just to see these numbers where they are projected to be is very, very alarming to me. There are more than 6.5 million Americans that are suffering from diabetes. I was borderline, and I will tell you, when the doctor told me I was pre-diabetic, I felt like my life was over because, number one, I didn't know much about diabetes. All I know is that you have to give yourself a shot, and who wants to do that every single day? I did not want to deal with it. So for me, I felt that it was a part that was going to be added to the death sentence that I was already given. 77% of Americans suffer from some type of arthritis disorder, and over 25 million Americans are suffering with asthma, bronchitis, or even emphysema. And then there are over 80 million, I was one of them, that was classified as obese. Prior to me becoming obese, I was weighing 160 pounds. I was feeling very good. I was always a very active person. I love watching sports and I love playing sports. So for me to go from 160 pounds to 236 pounds, that was so depressing to me. So just the thought that over 80 million people are classified as obese, again, the numbers are high. And last but certainly, this is not least, but this really, really touched me to know that 90% of our children, the future, children are the future. And to know that 90% of our children can't pass a fitness test. Something clearly needs to be done here. Now, let's talk about misconceptions of a vegan lifestyle. This happens to be my favorite section because these next top 3 misconceptions was really something that I was a part of as far as being on the other side and things that I was saying. I was trying to find ways to justify not entertaining this particular lifestyle. And these are questions that even today, like I said, it's been almost 7 years now, I still get asked when I'm out doing speaking engagement or talking to other people about this particular lifestyle. So, this is what I hear. A vegan diet is too expensive. Now, I will tell you that when I first transitioned, yes, I was one of the ones that was saying, whoa, this is too expensive. But let me tell you why I was saying that. Here in the area where I currently live, there was one particular store, and we all know this store, that was really a monopoly that had all these foods that I needed to help me with the transition, foods and spices and things that I had never ever heard of. And so what I did was I would go to this particular store and I would buy like a handful of items, and the person at the register, to hear her tell me, oh, that'll be $300, and I'm looking at these 5 or 10 items and I'm like, how much? Yes, it was something. It was quite expensive. But What has happened today is that that one particular store is no longer a monopoly. There are many other stores that are jumping or have jumped on this particular bandwagon to be able to offer many of these products in their stores. People are really becoming more and more concerned about their health. And so when you start placing demand on some of the stores or stop buying a lot of products, they began to take notice. So, but in actuality, vegetables and fruits are cheaper than meat and some dairy processed food. But one of the things that when I'm talking to individuals that I do share with them is that I often ask them, because I really want them to understand what it is that I'm trying to communicate to them. So I do ask them, have you ever priced the cost of cancer? Have you priced diabetes? Any other of these preventable illnesses, have you priced it? So when you embrace this particular lifestyle, you will cut out long-term costs by decreasing the risk of diet-related health problems such as obesity, heart problems, diabetes, high blood pressure. Remember I said in my intro that when I embraced this lifestyle, after the first 40 days, I lost 33 pounds. How could that be? I wasn't taking any pills, and I don't take any pills, diet pills or anything like that. And then within 3 months, I was taking off all my medication. It was just like I reversed, my whole body woke up and started to do what it had been wanting to do for a long time. And that is, I began to give my body what it needed, not what I wanted to have. So guess what? I no longer suffer with high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I'm not depressed. I'm smiling every day. I'm not a big girl anymore. I have lost the weight. And of course, I'm not pre-diabetic. So this lifestyle can be a little expensive if you go out and you start buying up the food processor, the juicer. And no, I tell everyone, take it one day at a time. But again, you will cut out long-term costs, again, by decreasing the risk of diet-related health problems. There's not much to eat. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. That was me. I said those exact words. There's not much to eat. And remember, when I made the transition, I had no guidance whatsoever. I had been trying other weight loss things, and it just wasn't working for me. During the first 40 days, I was eating a salad. Salad. I would eat a baked potato or a baked sweet potato. I did not consume any meat, no fish, and I didn't consume any eggs, milk, or cheese. So, of course, I'm thinking, oh wow, what am I going to eat? I did not know. It wasn't until I went to a vegan cooking class that I realized that, wait a minute, all I need to do is remove the bad ingredients and replace with the healthier foods. And wow, it's like this whole world opened up. And I learned that there are numerous ways to prepare fruits, vegetables, and grains to create some delicious meals. The pictures that you are seeing on your screen are my own pictures of an apple pie. I'm still eating apple pie, blueberry walnut pancakes, and eggplant casserole. I will tell you, I had never had eggplant. I used to go in the store and see it and say, wow, that's a beautiful vegetable or whatever that thing is, but I never would touch it. And so when I started transitioning and started doing things and buying different vegetables and fruits and going in my kitchen, learning all this stuff. It became so excited. So now, I can make that eggplant casserole and I don't miss certain other foods. There are numerous ways to prepare some delicious meals that are very quite fulfilling. Not enough protein in the diet. Dr. Bradley, I know that you are vegan or plant-based or whatever you call that, but what I want to know is where are you getting those proteins? Guys, this is the number one question that I am asked over and over and over again. And it does not bother me. I enjoy answering the question, especially since I know. Before I didn't know. But I want you to take a picture. Take a look at the picture. You see that picture of the gorilla? Did you know that the gorillas don't eat meat? And then look over there at the picture of the cows. Cows don't eat meat. And if you were to look at an elephant and say, oh my gosh, that big animal, it doesn't eat meat, and the deer doesn't eat meat, where are they getting their protein? These are some big and strong animals. So I tell people, I'm getting my protein from some of the same sources that they're getting theirs, plants. So vegans get enough plant-based protein and calcium, as well as other nutrients that could be lacking in a meat-based diet and dairy. So for years, I thought that I had to eat meat in order to get protein. And another thing that is really fascinating to me is that why didn't anyone question my protein intake when I was eating other foods? Nobody ever asked me that. I found that quite amazing. But yes, there is plenty of plant-based protein, calcium, and other nutrients that are in the foods, plant-based foods as well. So those are the top 3 misconceptions. There are many others, but for the sake of this presentation, I just wanted to give you all the top 3. Let's talk about foods that we should avoid. These foods, I believe, are foods that whether you are a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever, I believe because of what these foods can do, that if you cannot avoid them, to at least minimize their usage. And the first one is caffeine. I was an avid coffee drinker, meaning I would drink a minimum of 5 cups of coffee a day. And if you saw my cup of coffee, you would say, that's not a cup of coffee. That looks more like a bowl of coffee, because my coffee cup was huge. And I would drink this coffee in the morning to wake me up, and then throughout the day, and certainly at night to help me sleep. But here's the thing. When we are consuming caffeine, our body will make every effort to reject it as quickly as possible. Your blood vessels constrict, making your heart beat faster, which causes your adrenaline to pour into your system to deal with this stimulant. And when we use caffeine over and over and over, it can actually cause nervousness, insomnia, and even depression. Caffeine really is a toxic poison that will and can damage the lining of your stomach and cause damage to your liver and your kidneys. Number 2, bleached flour. White bleached flour. This flour is nothing more than refined carbohydrates and can contribute to obesity. And the reason why this flour is considered bad is because of the way that it is made. The first thing they do is they take this natural grain of wheat and they strip off the outer shell, and then they remove the wheat germ. Now, why would they do that? You're going to remove the part that contains all the nutrients. So then they remove it, they grind it up, and then it turns into this, it's a powder form, and guess what happens? They bleach it. Now, who wants bleached food? I certainly didn't want bleached food, and I never even thought about it. I grew up, my mother would buy all-purpose bleached flour, and I would go to the store and get that five-pound bag for like 50 cents, I believe. But no, that's another one of the foods that, if you can, minimize its uses. But there are alternatives to some of these foods. Like even with the caffeine, I have clients that say, "Hey, Dr. Bradley, I just can't give up my caffeine, my coffee. What can I do?" And I introduce them to an alternative. And my mother happened to be one of them, and she claims that she is still drinking coffee, the same coffee, and that it tastes exactly like coffee. And so when it comes to the flour, there are some other flours out there: spelt flour, buckwheat flour, unbleached flour. So the next time you're in the store and you're looking for some all-purpose flour, look for the one that says unbleached. Okay? Oh no, not my table salt. You're going to take my table salt? Well, table salt is sodium chloride, and I do call it another killer food. So when we are consuming more than needed, we create a toxic substance that can wreak havoc in our systems, in our cells. Yes, there is a substitute. There is Himalayan pink salt. There is a Celtic sea salt. So again, there are substitutes. But if you are just one that say, "Hey, I want my table salt. I want that table salt," just minimize it as much as you can. Number 4, white sugar. Oh my goodness. Sugar is found in almost every manufactured food product. Definitely contributes to obesity, heart disease, diabetes, and emotional problems. So here's what happens when we are consuming this sugar. According to research, ingestion of sugar results in reduced white blood cells for up to 5 hours. The white blood cells are the immune system's first line of defense against foreign invaders. Some of the effects of sugar are: it depresses the immune system, it contributes to hyperactivity, depression, and crankiness in our children. It increases the risk of Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, and it can cause mental problems. And again, there are substitutes for this sugar. And last but not least, can you guess number 5? You are right. Animal products. Animal products are the cause of up to 90% of all physical problems experienced by people. If you eliminate animal products, you eliminate the risk of experiencing a heart attack by 90%. You reduce the risk of cancer almost completely. You reduce the probability of adult onset diabetes to nearly 0. And you reduce the risk of acid stomach problems by almost 100%. Again, my first 40 days, I lost 33 pounds. I was not consuming any meat, including fish, no egg, milk, or cheese. And I was losing weight, and it was coming off quickly. And not only that, but look what happened. No more high blood pressure, high cholesterol, no longer depressed. no longer having to deal with obesity, and surely wasn't pre-diabetic. So there's something quite interesting when we transition to this particular lifestyle. Healthy food choices. Well, by nature of the foods that are in a plant-based diet, most all choices are healthy. Whether it's raw or cooked vegetables or fruit, beans and legumes, whole grain cereal, breads, pasta. Yes, I said pasta. Nuts and seeds. What are the health advantages? Vegan diets have been associated with the following when compared to non-vegan diets: lower LDL, cholesterol levels, lower risk of death from heart disease, low blood pressure, lower rates of hypertension, no form of diabetes, lower BMI, your body mass index, and even lower overall cancer rates. So these are some of the health advantages that are associated when following a vegan diet. Another thing that I did not include that I will say that you would notice when you transition to this particular lifestyle, and that is better looking skin, mental clarity, no more brain fog. I can remember when I was 4 years old. That is a long, long time ago. Believe me. For those that suffer from the monthly cycle, the cramps, you can minimize those cramps. And for the women, those women that are entering menopause, it certainly helped with that. And the list just goes on and on. I'm telling you, I cannot stress it enough, but there are multiple health advantages to this lifestyle. Earlier I told you that in one of the misconceptions it talks about, where am I getting my protein? And I said from, plant-based, I'm getting protein and calcium as well as some other nutrients. Well, here are some of the key nutrients that you definitely will receive, and that's protein, iron, zinc, iodine, calcium, vitamin D, and vitamin B12. Isn't that amazing? You're getting all this. I call it, when you're eating plants, you might as well say that you're eating your multivitamin because you're getting all of these nutrients, minerals and vitamins, all this from plants, from the foods that you are consuming. And I think that that's absolutely remarkable. Here are some recommended websites. Of course, yours truly, Dr. Brenda Bradley. Feel free to go to my website and reach out to me and just say hello. And if you have any questions, you can also go to my website on the contact, and you'll be able to send me a message that way. The Hallelujah Diet I told you all that I am a health minister with Hallelujah Acres, and this Hallelujah Diet is actually the name of a book that I read at the beginning that really set me in the right path that I am. And I call it the right path because it's what I chose for myself, and that's being a transition to a plant-based lifestyle. And then there are some other websites, the world's healthiest foods, the Vegan Wolf. The Vegan Wolf is quite interesting. There's so much information on that website. And then a couple more to include One Green Planet. These are all recommended websites if you want to know more about this particular lifestyle. It has been a pleasure to present to you Vegan 101 class, Getting Back to Healthy. If you have any questions whatsoever, again, please reach out to me. I can be reached at my website, which is www.drbtbradley.com, www.drbtbradley.com. BTBRADLEY.com. Last but not least, I want you to remember this and even put it into practice. And that is always, always allow food to be your medicine and never your poison. Have a good day.